The military detention center at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, has severely damaged America's image abroad, with a number of reputable sources saying Army interrogators tortured prisoners. There are currently 245 inmates, some of whom have been proven innocent. American President Barack Obama would like to release 60 people immediately. The newly elected U.S. president has ordered Guantanamo permanently closed, but there are some thorny and ironic issues about what to do with ex-inmates.
The problem is that a number of nations to which we would like to send people back are not willing to guarantee that they will treat those people properly when they come back, i.e. they won't torture them in the process of interrogation. And so the European Union offered, and Germany included, to accept some of those prisoners whom we can't send back to their homeland because of this fear.
German Foreign Minister Frank-Walter Steinmeier made the offer to help without a formal request from the U.S. and without consulting cabinet colleagues.
We aren't rushing to accept prisoners in Europe, but closing Guantanamo is in our interests. So I've said from the start, we should get ready to do so.
I suspect that the Americans didn't just bring people to Guantanamo for no good reason whatsoever. That still doesn't mean individuals should be presumed guilty. The presumption of innocence is still in effect. Secondly, you have to consider that if the two of us had endured over 5 years in Guantanamo, we'd probably come out being more dangerous than if we hadn't suffered the experience. That's a problem you have to acknowledge.
Germany's Interior Minister also says his country should evaluate each case individually. Final decisions about whether to accept ex-Guantanamo inmates would be made with the Interior Ministers of Germany's individual states.
It's not up to Mr. Steinmeier alone to decide to admit people like this into our country. If the question is purely a humanitarian one, then we're certainly open to discussions. But this is a case of party politics. Steinmeier would like to win favor in Washington.
17 Guantanamo inmates are Uyghurs, a Muslim minority in China that wants greater autonomy. This United States government would like to send them home, but worries about political repression. The Chinese government treats the Uyghurs as separatist rebels. A Uyghur exile community in Bavaria is lobbying for them to be allowed to enter Germany. Community representative Oskar Kahn says Germany has a duty to take them in. He says the inmates would be given jobs immediately in this restaurant.
People talk a lot about human dignity and human rights. And we know these people are innocent. That was shown in a court of law. But no country is willing to take them. They could already be free men.
But German public opinion is evenly divided on this issue.
It's primarily America's problem. They imprisoned them, so they're responsible.
I think the Americans should deal with it before they pass it on to us.
They should go to Germany, or better still, the U.S. The camp must be closed, no question.
The government's Human Rights Commissioner fully agrees.
If Europe can help, it would be right for us to accept inmates who have been legally cleared of charges, because they are truly innocent. It's bad enough if innocent people have been wrongly interred, and perhaps even tortured, in a prison camp. I think someone in the world has to be prepared to help them.
There was little agreement at a recent meeting of EU foreign ministers in Brussels. Everyone's in favor of closing Guantanamo, but there's no consensus on how Europe should help. The German government has also become cautious about making binding statements. Berlin is waiting for a formal request from Washington before deciding whether to accept ex-inmates. President Obama has said it could take up to a year to close Guantanamo. That's a long time for the 60 prisoners who are waiting to see whether other countries will agree to take them in. The U.S. will have to explain why it can't accept them itself and why Germany and the EU should help out.